Have you ever thought about what your name means? What it says about you? Does the meaning of your name ring true for who you believe yourself to be? Or does it feel like it doesn't fit at all? This week, we're diving into a slightly different aspect of your Mosaic Mom Life, your name, and specifically your God given name, not just your birth name. And it's going to be good. So, let's do this. Do you want to be an amazing, present mom and have a real identity of your own, but you struggle with mom guilt and complete overwhelm when you even think about trying to do something just for you? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Laura, a former teacher and university career counselor turned stay-at-home homeschooling mom of two. Over the years, I've learned a thing or two about how to be the present, engaged mom I've always wanted to be and rediscover my own personal identity at the same time. So, if you're ready to rebuild your identity, rediscover your confidence, and let go of the mom guilt, then get the kiddos settled and grab an earbud because this podcast is for you. Real quick, before we dive into this week's episode, did you know that we have a free community of mamas just like you? Mamas who are trying to rediscover who they are and who they're meant to be in this phase of life. We're sharing life, self-discovery, and encouragement over in our Facebook group. So come check us out at scatteredwoman.com/community. Years ago, I went through a study on redeeming love by Francine Rivers. If you haven't read it, it's the story of the prophet Hosea set in the 1850s California gold rush. And if you know me at all, you know I love some good historical fiction. So this is one of my favorites. It's quite possibly the most powerful book I have ever read, but it is also the one that has made me sob more than any other book I have ever read. So if you are planning on reading on it, just also plan to have lots of tissues handy because you'll probably need it. But the book itself deals a lot with the power of names. Angel is the lead character in the story, and she goes by many different names throughout the book, but she keeps her real name carefully guarded. She shares it with no one, not even her husband, until the very end of the book. And the incredible part is that her real name has all the promise of who she really is, who she wants to be, and who she is so afraid that she will never be. And I'm not going to spoil the book for you by telling you her names or how it all turns out. You have to go read it for yourself. But it really is amazing to me just how like Angel I am sometimes. For the longest time, I was confused by the names that other people would call me. I was struggling to trust who God said that I was until about 20 years ago. My best friend and I went through the Captivating Materials by John and Stacey Eldridge. If you haven't read that book or gone through that study, that is also an amazing book. But that was my first introduction to the concept of God giving us names. And it shouldn't have been my first introduction. I should have picked up on this sooner, but I didn't. It's all over Scripture. God is always changing the name of someone because that old name no longer fits who they are and who He's calling them to be. So He gives them this new identity and announces that change to the world through this new name. And so throughout our study of Captivating, we were challenged to ask God what our new names were. And I never would have even thought to ask that before. But it was part of the study, so I did it. And it was insane to hear what God's answer was. I heard it clear as day. He said that my new name was Belle. And when I heard it, I just sat there in shock for a minute, thinking, Belle? Like Beauty and the Beast, Belle? Are you serious? And apparently God was very serious. Name was confirmed for me over and over and over again through different people in my life without their even knowing that I was asking God about it. And I realized too that my grandfather had called me Laura Bell my entire life. It's not actually my middle name, it's just what he always called me. So, who knew Grandpa Jack was the that perceptive about who God had created me to be? Who knew? But as I grew up, I wanted to be beautiful. I just never really thought that it was actually true. And isn't that just how God works? I mean, think about some of those big name changes in the Bible. Let's take Abram and Sarai to start with. Abram means exalted father. Great, cool meaning, but Abram wasn't a father. He wanted to be one, but he wasn't. Not yet. And the same for Sarai. Sarai just means princess. And we think, aw, isn't that cute? I mean, you can just see her dad with newborn Sarai in his arms, cooing and calling her his little princess. Aw. But she wasn't always treated like a princess as she got older. Now, that's a story for another day. But when God reiterated his promise to Abram in Genesis 17 that he would make him extremely fruitful, God also changed Abram's name to Abraham, which means the father of many nations. God said, your name will no longer be Abram, but your name will be Abraham, for I will make you the father of many nations. That's Genesis 17:5. I mean, appropriate, right? Every time someone would say Abraham's name, he would be reminded of God's promise. That great multitude of descendants was coming. He just had to hold on and wait for the fulfillment of that promise. And it was the same for Sarai. When God changed her name from Sarai to Sarah, he gave her a built-in reminder that she was no longer just daddy's little princess. She was the princess of the multitude, or the mother of nations. Later in Genesis 17 and verses 15 and 16, God tells Abraham, as for your wife Sarai, do not call her Sarai, for Sarah will be her name. I will bless her. Indeed, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she will produce nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. God had a promise for Sarah built right into her new name. The Abrahamic covenant wasn't just for Abraham and his descendants. Sarah was right in there too. And at 90 years old, I am quite sure that Sarah had pretty much given up on motherhood as a lost cause. Mama was never going to be her title. She longed for it. She wanted to be a mother more than anything in the world, enough to let another woman sleep with her husband. But God's promise was not going to be fulfilled through polygamy. He wanted this woman to be the mother of many nations. That new name and that new identity were specifically for her. So, what does all this mean for you? Well, there are 3 truths that I want you to keep in mind. Number 1, God has a unique name just for you. Do you remember that old hymn, there's a new name written down in glory, and it's mine. Oh, yes, it's mine. I mean, Christians have been singing that song for decades, and most of us have no clue just how true and life-changing that new name can be right here on earth. We don't have to wait for glory. God has a new name for you, not just for biblical characters, not just for fictional characters, or even for just a select few of us modern day Christians, but for you. God has a unique name for you. That's number 1. Truth number 2, that name speaks something true about you. God's name for you speaks of all the promise and all the destiny that he's got planned specifically for you. Just like Abraham and Sarah, whose destinies were written into those new names, God has big plans for you. Something true that he wants to tell you through that name. Maybe it's like mine, where it tells you about some character quality, some way that he sees you. Or maybe it has something to do with something you'll do down the road. But whatever it is true about you. Number 3, God's name for you probably won't feel true right away. Often, the destiny that God injects into our new names won't feel like it fits. Belle, beauty, most certainly did not feel like it fit me when I first heard it. Remember how Sarai laughed when Abram told her about their promised son? You know she had to be thinking, yeah, right, you old fool. You must have heard God wrong. Ain't no multitudes coming out of this old body. I mean, having a baby at 90 years old would have sounded absolutely ludicrous. But whatever truth God speaks to you through your new name is probably going to sound equally impossible. Because our God is the God of the impossible. 90-year-old Sarah did birth a son. Abraham and Sarah's line did become a great nation, even with only that one son to start with. God specializes in making the impossible happen. So, don't be freaked out when God's name for you doesn't feel like it fits. Your feelings are not always a great indicator of what is true. Your new name is a promise. It will happen on God's timetable. You just have to sit back and follow him on the journey to see what it is. So, here's your homework. Ask God to tell you his name for you. Just ask. And then listen for his answer. He might tell you with an audible voice. He might tell you through something you're reading, through something that someone says to you. It can come about in all sorts of different ways. You just have to be watching and waiting and listening for him to tell you what it is. It'll hit you, I promise. But keep those 3 truths in mind. God has a unique name that is just for you, that speaks something true about you, and that probably won't feel true right away. So when that name sits a little awkwardly on your shoulders, ask God for confirmation. He will show up and remind you over and over and over again that this is true. This is how he sees you. It's what he thinks about you. And I promise you, Mama, it is going to be so good. So once you've heard your unique name from God, head over to Your Mosaic Mom Life, the group on Facebook, and let us know what your God name is and how you're feeling about it. Because you might be having all the feelings about that new name right now, but we would love to speak life into that new identity and encourage you as you walk it out. That Facebook community is totally free to join, and it's a place where you can get all the extra support from me, from other mamas who are walking through their own journeys to rediscovering who they are and who they were meant to be. So in the group, you're going to find all of the free resources that I create or share with you, and you'll have space to just share your thoughts and your experiences about all the things that we talk about here on the podcast, just like letting us know what your God name is and what you're thinking about that so far. So head over to scatteredwoman.com/community to get started. I cannot wait to hear from you. Thanks for taking time to hang out with me today. I hope you'll discover new pieces of your Mosaic Mom Life each week. If you've got a quick minute between those never-ending snack requests from your kiddos, I'd love for you to leave a quick review over on the Your Mosaic Mom Life page on Apple Podcasts. Those reviews help other moms find the show, discover their unique purpose, and start building a life they'll love too. Well, that's it for now. Be sure to check back next week for another new episode, and I'll be talking with you again soon.